After everything that went down in the offseason, the Brooklyn Nets have found a way to start their season 1-4. And although I haven't hit the panic button just yet, my hand is on it. So New York Post Nets reporter Brian Lewis is here to help us make sense of what is going on in Brooklyn. Now, Brian, at 1-4, it's easy to point fingers, and we're media, so it's even easier for us to point. So who or what's to blame for such a slow start?
I don't think you have enough fingers. Everything that's gone wrong here. I mean, from the fact that they started the offseason in chaos, they are still trying to figure out the best roster to play, the best permutations. They've played more five-man lineups than anybody that's not tanking, right? So while they've started the same people, Steve Nash is feverishly trying to figure out what combinations work, and he hasn't found those yet.
So when you say that, that makes me want to ask, because of everything that went down this offseason, does Steve Nash look like the guy who can coach this team to a solid playoff spot?
I don't know. I think he can coach them to a decent record. I do think so, because there is so much talent here on the team, and talent generally wins in the NBA. My questions are, can he win in the playoffs? Because that is where tactical acumen and that's where coaching takes over. Talent will get you, but so far. But when you are in the Eastern Conference Finals, which they have never proven they can reach, now you're talking about coaching. And I don't know whether he can win those series in the playoffs, even if everybody's healthy, even if everybody's together. And we haven't seen that either.
So let's backtrack and talk about some of this talent. I mean, KD's looking like KD, Kyrie's looking like Kyrie out there, but how's Ben Simmons fitting in, and what's your 5-game grade for Ben Simmons on this new squad?
Somewhere in the D- area, I suppose. There's an irony. I mean, Ben Simmons is, while KD's averaging more points per touch than anybody else in the league, Ben Simmons is dead last in points per touch. Now, Ben is not a scorer. It is absurd to think that they're going to recast him as some kind of Steph Curry. It's not what he is. He doesn't score. He doesn't shoot at all. Nobody's expecting him to hit three-pointers, and nobody's expecting him to shoot 85% from the line. The problem is he does have to be more aggressive. He does have to attack the paint. He does have to be willing to at least shoot the ball, even if it's 8 feet, 9 feet, 10 feet, because people are going to lay off of him. They're not going to defend it. They're going to defend 5-on-4, and it's not insulting if it's intelligent defense. That's what you're supposed to do when you're playing against Ben Simmons, and that's what's making life difficult. So Steve Nash's job now is he's going to have to figure out ways to use Ben. Maybe that's a lot more as a small ball 5, which he showed the last game and a half. That may be putting shooters around him, which means he has to wait till Joe and Seth can get back. And Ben has to work on being more aggressive and being more assertive.
So that sounds like some of the problems that he had down in Philly. But, I mean, it's early in the season. Hopefully he can get acclimated to this team, get his confidence in that jumper back. One thing that I wanted to kind of raise this question to keep my eye on is Cam Thomas. He's been a DNP 3 of the first 4 games. So what's the reason for that? And is that something that we should keep an eye on early in the season?
Well, here's the thing. Cam is not a defender. Cam has a very mature game. Cam came into the league as a rookie, and he had a very intelligent offensive game, a very savvy offensive game, and he can score. The problem is this team is dead last in the league in defense. All right, that's what they need, and that's not necessarily what he provides. That's part of the reason he's not playing.
All right, Brian, I have my hand on the panic button. I haven't pressed it just yet. After that, I'll think about it. But thanks for coming on, joining us. It's going to be a long season, so I'm sure we're going to talk again soon.
No worries. Thanks for having me.